I remember about 5 or 6 years ago now, maybe a little bit less than that, everyone was talking about phone games like they were going to be the next big thing. People were talking about phone games like they were going to completely destroy the console market, and whilst that might have been a bit hyperbolic and people would have even maybe admitted that at the time, it felt like it was going to be something that was actually going to happen. It did feel like phone games were becoming massive, so much bigger than console gaming and PC gaming. It just seemed like it had that kind of trajectory. That chat seems to have died away a bit recently, and partly that's because bigger budget games have started taking on the characteristics of phone games. You see a lot more free to play games these days, a lot of use of loot boxes and random drops and things like that, things that were really popular in the iOS and Android market at the time. But there's still loads of good stuff coming out on iPhone and Android phones. So today I'm going to have a wee quick look at 4 games that I've just had a wee download, play out with, and I'm going to tell you what they're like. So first I'm going to start with a game called Dune. Dune is a game made by Voodoo Games, and it is like the perfect distillation of an endless runner. First of all, it's so smooth. Unfortunately, the footage I've got here isn't amazing. It doesn't show exactly how great how smooth the game plays. But basically, there's only 2 things you can do. You can touch the screen to go faster, and it also draws you to the ground. And you can let go of the screen to let yourself fly. That's it. And those 2 things combine to make this incredible feeling game. There's no greater feeling in an endless runner than just nailing a jump perfectly, almost pixel perfectly, over a small gap or something, and just nailing it and getting the flow of it just right. This game takes that idea and makes it its whole system. You know, you're trying to bring the ball down onto the curve perfectly, because the better you do that, you get a bonus to your score, and it flies up higher because you've got more speed, and it's all about finding that flow, and it's really difficult. You're seeing in this footage how often I just slam it into the side of cliffs essentially, and it does take a bit of skill, but that's really beautiful because it takes a few seconds to get back into a game, and games don't only last like a minute or so, and that's just perfect. You're going to learn how to do that skill, and eventually you're just going to string these smooth jumps. There's something about it that just fires something off in my brain that feels amazing. Dune is completely free, as most of these games are. It's $2.99 to get an ad-free version of it, and it is a very good, I have a minute or 2 minutes to have a quick go of something kind of game. I love it. Recommended. The next game I had a look at was a game called Brave Hand. Brave Hand describes itself as a mixture of skill and luck in this unique single player card game, and I think that's that makes it sound like there's a good 50-50 split between skill and luck. I think this is a game where you're basically rolling a dice and seeing what's happening. I think the problem with a game like Solitaire or Patience is more commonly, I think I would more commonly call it Patience. I don't know if that's just me or if that's a Scotland thing or what, but is Patience and Free Cell and all these kind of card games is basically luck. The game is basically decided before you even start playing it based on the shuffle. There's not a whole lot of skill in those games, and Brave Hand kind of feels like that too. Basically, you take a card from your deck and you start playing basically higher or lower, like on The Price is Right. You look at the top card if you can see it, and if you beat that one, well then you can cash out then, or you can push your luck. Maybe as your card that you've already got higher than the next card, or the next one and the next one, and you do this until you either clear the pile out, you decide to cash out yourself, or you come up against a card that's higher than yours, and that's kind of it. You can scout, you can use one of your cards to scout 2 piles, but then it's random, so you might not get any information that's actually useful to you. I don't like it. I don't like it. I just feel like it's too dependent on luck. I just feel like you don't really ever know exactly what you're doing or why. It doesn't feel like there's any intelligent decisions to be made. It feels like you are just kind of sometimes get into a stage where you're just guessing, and when the whole game is predicated on you getting a higher score, basically you have to keep pushing your luck, because playing conservatively is just going to get you a boring score and you're not gonna win. So I don't know, I didn't like it a whole lot. You can certainly try it. Again, it's free, and again it offers a ad-free version for $2.99. I have to say I barely saw any ads in Brave Hand, which was nice. I did appreciate that. Which makes a $2.99 purchase of an ad-free version feel a lot better if you're really enjoying it, because it's like, well, they're not showing me ads anyway, and I'm enjoying this, so you throw them $2.99. The third game I'd like to talk about is Tower Fortress. Tower Fortress is made by Keyball Games. It's another one that's completely free, and it looks and sounds amazing. I mean, have a listen to this. Ooh, just perfectly, like, I don't know, crunchy. I'm gonna call it crunchy because it sounds, just love that sound. Anyway, Tower Fortress is a run and gun roguelite kind of game. Imagine Downwell but up, basically. And it's good. It's good, right? But it's really imprecise, and that's just by nature of having no physical buttons. It's asking you to make these special, double jumps that turn into spin dashes and allow you to hit off enemies. It's very hard to aim those on a system where you're pressing virtual buttons. It's just, I found too often that I would miss my target, not because I felt like I was unskilled, but because it wouldn't register the touch of me pressing the button, which is a real shame because this game feels great, it looks great, theoretically it plays great, but the imprecision of using virtual buttons is just something that takes away from it, takes the shine off it a little bit, I would recommend trying Tower Fortress. It's fun, it's short, you get a lot of fun out of just, when you do chain together a bunch of kills and bouncing off people and double jumping and bouncing off walls and doing all that kind of stuff, it feels great. It's just too often it seems to become imprecise, and because of that a little imperfect. But it's definitely worth a go. It's $3.99 to get an ad-free version of it, and you can buy gem packs for 99p, which help you unlock special suits with different abilities. The fourth game I'd like to talk about is a slightly older one. It came out in 2016 rather than these ones that came out this year. It's a game that you've probably heard of if you're familiar with phone games, and it's called Mini Metro. Mini Metro was made by Dinosaur Polo Club and is available for $4.99, a price tag that I think's maybe put some people off, which is fair enough in a shop where you can go in and get so much great stuff for free. $4.99 seems like a lot by comparison, but Mini Metro is worth every single penny of its £5 price tag, and that's because it is the perfect puzzle game for a phone. It is so zen. It is like the most relaxing and stressful thing you can play. Basically what you have to do is design a rail network that links all of these train stations that are shapes. Symbols will appear on the train station saying where they want to go. A triangle will appear on a circle station, means you need to get it to a triangle station, and it's up to you to design a railway network that keeps the whole of the city moving. And at first, and through the first majority of a game, you'll have this beautiful system in your mind, and it'll translate perfectly onto the screen. You'll feel really great about the decisions you're making and the way that everything's flowing, and everything just looks great, and all of a sudden things slowly but surely start to get crowded and busy and hectic, and eventually you end up with a couple of stations that are just burgeoning with people, and you're like, shit, fuck, I've got to redesign my whole, fuck, so you pause and you redesign, and then it still works for a bit, and then it starts to crumble again, and then eventually it all comes to an end, as all things do. But it felt good. It felt good to build that railway network. It felt nice to watch the trains go around the tracks that you had designed. It even felt fine when the game collapsed, because you knew you'd done your best and you felt good doing it. Mini Metro is perfect. You don't feel stupid when you fail, nor do you feel cheated when you fail. It's not like, the game's just designed to fuck me over. It feels like if you were a little bit smarter, you probably could. And if you keep playing, maybe you'll gain that intelligence and skill, and you will progress and make a full city-wide railway network. So why not just jump in and play it again? It's perfect. Mini Metro is perfect. It's such a great game. I love it to bits. If anything comes out of this video, it's play Mini Metro. Thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed talking about phone games, actually, surprisingly enough. It's great to have so many things at your fingertips. There's so many options on the App Store. In fact, if there's anything out there that you've played that you want to tell me about so that I can maybe talk about in a future video, please let me know. You can find me on @CoMutiny at Twitter, or you can leave a comment below. as always, be sure to like and I can't say it. I can't. I'm sorry. If you want to subscribe, please do, but I'm not going to tell you have to. It would be nice, but it's cool. Hopefully, either way, I see you again soon. Thank you very much for watching.